What's going on, everyone? Jake Morgan, Shady Creek Marina, El Dorado, Kansas. Got a nice used runabout today. I'm gonna do this quick video on. This is a 2013 Bryant. This is a one-owner boat. This boat was owned by a priest, and this boat was used to teach kids how to water ski. So this boat has done a lot of towing in its life. It's got 513 engine hours and has been regularly used and regularly maintained. Father Fred traded this in on a new chaparral and is still teaching kids how to ski. The exterior of this boat looks pretty dang good. A little bit of oxidation on the lower half there. But the top cap, everything looks nice and good. The swim platform has some marks on it just from skis. Nothing abnormal for a boat of this age that has been used for water sports a lot. There is sign of a repair right here. See if I can get that to pick up on camera. There's sign of about a fist-sized repair right there in between, or straight up above that R. Right there. That's the size of my hand. That's the only sign of repair that I saw on the exterior. The bottom side of the boat looks good. No big marks or scrapes. No hitting of rocks or ripping off trailer board bunks or anything like that. None of that. Looks pretty solid on the bottom half. We got docking lights. We got a front boarding ladder here. We got our Bimini top. There's a dedicated cooler space under that seat right there in the bow. We do have a transom tilt switch right there, which comes in handy. I just used that. Put the drive down. I will fire it up on the hose here in a moment. We do have draining storage here in the port side of the swim platform. Transom stereo remote. This does have a walk-through, which is nice. Walk through here. That seat does come out. Let's see if I can kick that out of the way. Yeah, that seat does come out. So you can get all the way into the boat without stepping on any of your upholstery. You can put this seat back and snap into place. Put that down. Boom. You got the full rear bench, full sun pad. Looking underneath the, I want to say hood. Looking underneath the engine compartment here, we got our 5.0 MerCruiser MPI. We got our Optima blue top battery there. Our trim pump reservoir looks full. All that looks good. Does have a fire suppression system. On the port side here, this is just would make good storage space. This is separated from the engine with these little retainer flaps that snap on. Looking pretty good in there. The bottom side of the engine compartment cover looks good. The gas struts were pressurized. All of the hinges and hardware back here look good. Everything looks kosher back here. Underneath these rear bench seats, you have this one opens and this one opens for storage underneath. Okay. All the hinges and hardware on the bottom of these seat cushions look in great condition. The actual board on the bottom of this is kind of this plastic board, this corset board type stuff is good. You don't have any wood in there to rot away. All of this looks in good condition. It's not mildewy, it's not coming apart. All the upholstery on these rear bench seats look great. That does go underneath the starboard side step down for storage underneath there. Does have a little trash can in there. All this backrest upholstery, didn't see any issues with any of that. All of the combing pad upholstery on both the starboard side and the port side looked great in here in the cockpit area. All of that looked great. You do have 1, 2, 3, 4 stereo speakers back here in the rear, and then 1, 2 down low up in the bow. The carpet and the fiberglass lower here on the port side looks good. We got a courtesy light right there. There is a little bit of what looks like maybe silicone right there. I'm not sure if that's from the mold, if that's original. That's pretty hard. That's not silicone. I think that's just a defect from the original manufacturing right there on the edge of that traction piece. This kickboard up here in front of the passenger chair, all that carpet looks good. Up underneath there on the port side looks good. Over here on the starboard side, more of the same. All this carpet and fiberglass down low on the starboard side looks good. Same with this kickboard and the footrest there. Got a fire extinguisher mounted underneath there. This does have bolster seats on both the captain's chair and co-captain's chair. It's in good condition. Both of those are working and operating smoothly. You do have some quick storage built into the sidewalls on the starboard and port side here. A little extra trim fluid in there. Looking at the passenger side console, our head unit for our stereo is in here. We have a suction cup on mirror. We have a charging receptacle, 12 volt, extra set of keys, and some other extra pins, it looks like, for the Bimini top in there. Alright. Moving up into the bow space, well, let me touch on the Bimini and the windshield real fast. The windshield, all the gaskets look good. On the inside here, all of these gaskets look great. And on the outside, all of these gaskets look great. So not missing any gaskets on the windshield. The Bimini top, all this canvas looks good. It's clean, it doesn't have any holes in it. It's not sun faded. It does have zippers on the sides and the front and the rear if you wanted to do a full convertible top setup. The Bimini top looks ready for it. This is nice stainless tubing with nice feet hardware. This is probably an OEM Bimini if I were to guess, just based off the quality of it. Alright, now I'll move forward. Here's our storage, second fire extinguisher. Here's our storage underneath the driver's seat. We do have a seat base pedestal, or excuse me, we do have a table pedestal and a table underneath that driver's console there. That's where the pedestal goes. The table here is in good condition. And that goes right there if you want to use it. And it does swivel. So you could run it like that. A little room to walk through there still. Underneath here, let's wait for my camera to adjust to the lighting. All of this looks nice and clean. The underside of the dash and the wiring, I mean, that's, if you don't know boats, that looks like a bird's nest. If you know boats, that looks pretty good. Yeah, all this is in good condition underneath there. Let's hop over to the port side. Again, this has some good storage underneath it. That separating wall, carpeted, all this stuff looks good. I'm not seeing carpet fall down anywhere. All of this feels solid. All of the perimeter ring around this door on both the port and the starboard side looks solid. The latches are solid and lined up. Well, I say that right when I can't get to shut. Both of those doors felt really good. All right, up in the bow. All of this backrest here on the port side looks good. This is the piece with some upholstery that's not 100%. Is this bow-most coaming pad right here, where your back sits. Now this is likely from pulling in the anchor and anchor damage, but you have a couple spots that have been puttied. One there, and one there. Again, my guess is that that's from pulling the anchor in. The anchor is underneath this bow ladder. It is a vinyl coated anchor. I don't know if that was a result of something like this, but that wouldn't surprise me. We do have pop-up cleats on this entire boat. There's a little mark here on the starboard side backrest. Looks like something got dragged across it. Nothing major. You could run this boat for another decade without having to touch the upholstery. If you wanted it to be 100%, this is the piece you would need to address, and that little mark right there. Everything in the back was great. All right, looking underneath this starboard side bench seat, there's the back of our speaker. All of this down here looks nice and clean. Again, all the hinge hardware. Bryant, man, they made a nice boat. I'm liking this. All this looks good. Under the port side, again, all this looks good. Up here, this is the dedicated cooler space. It does have a drain underneath it. Pow. All right, that is our cosmetic overview of the exterior and interior of this boat. All right, how do I do this? This is a little easier with two hands. Put the handle down. I am gonna go fire it up and put the camera on the engine so you guys can watch and listen. And I'll go through the gauges. I'm gonna set this camera down. All right, let's do it. I'm gonna open this up. I'm gonna set the camera down for a quick second so you can listen. I'm gonna turn the bilge on and then I'm gonna turn the blower on. Here's the bilge. Here's the blower. That's our fuel pump kicking on, and let's start it up. All right. Coming up here, back to the driver's seat, let's take a look at what we got. The horn works, the courtesy lights, one there, one, oh, come on, camera work. And there, that one works on the port side, and our starboard side, all of our courtesy lights work. All right, let's check out our docking lights. I can see them without falling off the boat. Port docking lights doing good. Starboard docking lights doing good. That does look like a brand new spare tire. Okay. All right. Clicking through this button and cycling through some information that's on this gauge. So the tach says it has 224 hours, so that must not be the original tachometer, because when I hooked it up to the computer, it said whatever I said earlier, that 513 or whatnot. Trim gauge is responsive and appears to be accurate. There's all the way down. Yep. Trim's working how it's supposed to. I'm gonna go ahead and shift it. Rev it up just a little. I don't have a prop on there. All right. Yeah, this thing, I mean, this thing looks to be 100%. If I'm not zoomed in all the way. All right. Well, that is gonna wrap up my walk around on this boat. I wanna make sure this Transom stereo remote works. Yep. All right. Well, cool. Yeah. This boat's 100%. If you think this would be a good boat for you and your family, give me a shout. This boat does have a cover. That is hopefully, I think, in the still photos for this boat, as well as the options and everything will be in the description. And the hours, again, did not reflect, the tach did not reflect the true hours. That was, we pulled that off with the computer diagnostics. So if you think this would be a good boat for you, give me a shout. Everything we sell here at Shady Creek, new, used, or consignment boats even, we will take you out and drive this boat with you. So we sell a lot of boats to first-time boat owners, and we go over how to behave on the boat ramp, how to maneuver on traffic, how to trailer, things like that, because we're just right across the parking lot from the lake. All right, I'm gonna wrap that one up. Thanks, folks.